W's and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we like and an L to the things that we don't. I will go first. So, let's start off with my dubs. I'm giving a dub to YG.
400.
YG 400.
Oh, shit.
YG is apparently doing the same meet and greet thing that a lot of artists like Chris Brown and people like that are doing now, where they're charging $1,000. And
I don't want to see you that much, bro.
Yeah.
Are you going to put on a concert? Like, are you going to sing in front of me?
Well, okay. So YG is charging $1,000 for his fans to have dinner with him. It's a 5-star 3-course meal, open bar.
Oh, I get the food with you. Oh, that's a bet. See, that's lit. That's some shit I would do.
5-star 3-course meal, open bar, photo with YG, gentlemen's club waitresses, and it's $1,000 per person.
And that's all included. Man, bet. Yes. Yes. That is an experience that I would spend $1,000 on. I get to eat a 5-course meal. I get unlimited drinks, and I get to get served by big booty strippers, and I get to kick it with YG the entire time. That's $1,000 experience.
Yes.
Not,
agreed.
Hey, Jay-Z, can I pay you $50,000 and have a conversation with you?
No, absolutely not.
Y'all don't even be getting nothing out the deal.
Facts.
Just D-riding.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I thought that was pretty dope. I thought, that's actually more of an experience.
That is a deal. And
I'm
it's a
not paying
band?
it.
Boy, man, what? Yeah,
I'm personally not paying it.
Shoot, well, we had to do some stuff like that.
$1,000? You paying $1,000 to go see YG right now? With all that? Like, don't get me wrong, it's worth it. But
would I pay it if I like?
Probably.
I was like, hey, yo, we need something to do. We in wherever YG is from. Where is he from?
LA.
We in LA. I might just spend $1,000 on that. I might, depending on how I'm feeling for them.
Yeah, it depends on what else is going on. What else I could be doing with $1,000.
I mean, yeah, we just put YG on the back burner if we got something else to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But it's not a bad deal at the end of the day. Are you pointing at me?
Yeah, no, we good, bro. Go ahead.
No, don't do that. My next and last dub goes to a whistleblower in the Auburn University Black Student Union who claims to have retrieved a Google Doc from a group message associated with the Black Student Union, where they list up to 250 different racial slurs for white people.
Wait.
250 racial slurs on this Google Doc from the Auburn University Black Student Union. Apparently, they just have a Google Doc with a bunch of racial slurs.
Why? Did you give them a dub or an L?
You didn't hear the names yet. First of all, there's 250 of them.
Fam, I don't have that many slurs. Period.
I know.
Like, period.
I know. Sour cream citizen.
Yo.
Bleach demons. Sugar sardines.
This is a plant. This
dandruff demons. Skin stealers. Deformed DNA.
Pause for a second. Does this sound like the type of jokes or burns that black people say about other people or even about themselves when they're joking or they blazing people? Or does this sound like white people making up jokes and names about each other or other people?
I can see that.
It sounds like what white people think is funny when they make a derogatory joke as opposed to what black folks thinks is funny.
I think somebody's seen somebody say something akin to, like, I've actually seen black people say, like, snow roaches. That's actually a thing.
Snow bunnies, Wonder Bread, something having to do with mayonnaise.
Oh, you know what? Snow roaches
whatever.
is actually on here, but
and Charmin. That's about the only slurs. Oh, and of course the honky cracker, whatever.
Sure,
those are the givens. But all of this stuff, skin stealer, deformed DNA. First of all,
vanilla gorilla.
No one has ever. I've never ever heard that.
I've never heard it either.
Never heard most of this stuff, and it doesn't sound like something that a black person came up with. We're much more clever.
Mayo sapiens.
Well, maybe not. We did have African booty scratcher.
That's a fact.
But see, I don't even think we did that. See, it's always these hyper generic lack of flavor. It's the lack of flavor that gives it away.
Rice Krispies.
Yeah. See, like extra linear ass jokes. It's not as corny. We don't make jokes like that.
I'm definitely using some of these.
I'm saying that's a plant. They planted that on the Black Student Union. Ain't no way. These would have had to been the Black Student Union in damn Delaware to come up with these damn names.
I'm definitely using some of these.
At Auburn.
Not all of these. Some of these are bad, but some of these are hilarious.
Fam.
Marshmallow Minions.
No one has ever called you that.
Nobody has ever.
No one has ever used that.
But I might. You Marshmallow Minion.
Fam.
Spiceless girls.
These slurs are spiceless. That's why I know they didn't come from us. I don't believe it.
Some of these are really bad and some of these are funny.
No, but they're funny, but the common thread between all of them is that they're extremely corny and basic and just not very funny.
Yeah, like who would say sour cream salamander? I'm not saying that.
It sounds like when Jenny ran into the principal office and said that the black girls called her after she got beat up. They gave me a mayo monkey. No, they didn't. Because no one says that.
Mayo monkey.
Just got beat up, Jennifer. Go home.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm definitely using some of those. I'm definitely going to have to bookmark some of those. Anyway, on to my toss-up. Apparently, the CEO of YouTube has stepped down.
Yo, I heard about that, yeah.
And I don't quite know how I feel about it because it's one of those situations where you're like, oh, well, great. Maybe some things will get better. But you don't know the person who's coming into the situation.
Or why that guy left.
So things could get a lot worse.
Yeah, I don't even know how to feel about it, like you said.
I don't either, to be honest with you. Like a lot of people were celebrating it because, oh, YouTube bad, but like it can get worse.
It's so simple for people sometimes. I hate YouTube. You work YouTube. You gone. Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, no, it can definitely get worse. YouTube could end up being Twitter with Elon Musk.
Wasn't you supposed to give up your job too? Did you have a whole poll and ask people and swear that you were going to abide by it? Are you still the CEO?
Yes.
Lying son of a.
All right, on to my L's. My first L, quick one. R.I.P. to Richard Belzer, who was Detective Munch on SVU. The guy who was Ice-T's.
The tinted glasses? No.
Yep. R.I.P.
Damn, I hate propaganda, but he was a pretty decent actor. I like that guy.
That cast of him, Ice-T, and then, Benson and Stabler.
Yeah.
Top notch. Goats. R.I.P. This next one kind of got me a little upset. So earlier this week, it was announced that because All-Star Weekend was in Utah, that a certain someone would be one of the slam dunk contest judges.
Yo, listen. I know how it feels, right? I know where we're going with this. The setup is there. It feels like the fix is in, especially because they had a rapist on the judging panel. However, he was the best. Of the people who competed, he was far and away the best.
Well,
like it wasn't even a question.
That's not where it was going. But I mean, okay. So
are we not talking about Matt McClung?
No, I did end up seeing the dunks, and yes, he was very clearly.
I thought we were saying like the fix is in. We in Utah this year. It's snowing outside. A white boy got to win.
Oh no. Fuck the NBA for having Karl Malone.
Oh yeah,
be anywhere involved. But you know what?
And they just tried to slide it out there too. He's sitting over there all quietly smiling and shit. I'm like, I see your rapey ass. I see you over there.
But you know what? Bomani Jones made an interesting point on, I guess, an episode of Game Theory. I saw a clip of it.
What are your thoughts on Karl Malone being a huge part of All-Star Weekend? You could basically make this question, what are your thoughts about Karl Malone, and stop it right there. Like, it doesn't have to be an occasion, because I hated Karl Malone so much before I had a great reason. I only had good ones. Like, just being a dirty player, elbowing people all the time, that sort of stuff. And then, we found out the whole thing, if you don't know this, that when he was in college, Karl Malone had a baby with a 12-year-old. There's never been any sort of reckoning for Malone because Malone lays low. Like, he just out there in the country, driving his semi, doing whatever it is that Karl Malone does out there. But if you're doing something for Utah basketball, it's like Karl Malone. So we got Karl Malone and John Stockton. John Stockton is crazy conspiracy guy. And I'm just kind of like, I know a lot of people that think crazy things, as long as you don't say it on the microphone there, I guess, right? But Karl Malone, you're kind of supposed to leave him at home, except if you're the league. I heard a lot of y'all when I told y'all those details that you'd never heard them before, right? And so why is Karl Malone not there? Then you make this more a story. And so I would imagine that there's a very cynical outlook on how to play it. So I never want to see Karl Malone ever, all time, any other point. But he's going to be there, and it's going to be wild uncomfortable for a lot of people. And then tomorrow we're going to forget it ever happened.
If the NBA all of a sudden starts to distance themselves away from Karl Malone, that's going to prompt people to ask questions. And then they're going to figure out all this shit that the NBA has essentially been hiding this entire time. And the fact that they've been supporting him.
That
the
doesn't
fact that there's
mean
a statue.
that you have to march this man out. Oh, because they were in Utah. I get it. Oh, man, I mean, it's too bad that there aren't any more, Utah greats that you can use, like John Stockton, maybe, Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer. Too bad. All of those guys are so busy, they couldn't judge a goddamn dunk contest with Dominique Williams and Lisa Leslie. You had Jamal Crawford up there, but you just needed an NBA Hall of Famer. Another one. You had Dominique, you had Lisa, you had Jamal. Does it hurt if John Stockton's sitting there?
Yeah, because he's the conspiracy nut.
Does it hurt if Darren Williams, judges a dunk contest? He was a pretty damn good dunker.
But Darren Williams didn't also lead a Hall of Fame career and take Utah to the finals.
He also did not marry a 13-year-old girl, get her pregnant, and leave the result of that pregnancy.
Oh no, I agree.
Flounder for the rest of their lives, and thankfully make something of it and make it to the NFL.
I agree. Yeah, Darren Williams is he's not a piece of shit at all. Karl Malone is a piece of shit. He is a terrible human being. Mm-hmm. And the sooner the NBA starts to distance themselves, the better.
It's always like, oh, well, they've done the deed now, so now they just kind of have to do. No, if you did the deed, how about move on from it? You can't move on from it if you never admit that you did it in the first place. You're about to get me in here talking about slavery and reparations. You can't move on from something you won't admit that you did. Let me make this simple for all of you that struggle with this concept out there. I don't need to name you. You know who you are. You cannot stop talking about something. You cannot move on from it. You cannot put it behind you. You can't live in this post-racial America that y'all keep dreaming about if you do not admit and account for what it is you have already done.
And especially in this situation, that was David Stern's doing. So at the very least, Adam Silver could atone. You have every
opportunity to say the man is dead. He's dead. There's no legacy to protect. There's no backlash to fear. You say, hey, there were some complicating times. I can't necessarily speak for David's thinking or his processes at the time. But we now in 2023 in the new NBA are going to handle it this way.
Simple. So simple.
Hold on. It's about to make my brain explode. Josh, they stopped Kyrie from playing. They took game checks from him and made him pay $500,000 to a random organization for retweeting a video.
A link. He didn't even put the video out there. Just a link.
Karl Malone statutorily raped and impregnated a 13-year-old girl. And he's judging the NBA dunk contest. There isn't a moral fiber in any executive office in all the NBA. You're all piece of shits. Every single one of you. All of you are hypocrites.
And I wanted to come onto the podcast and say I'm not supporting any of that shit, any of that All-Star Weekend bullshit. But it's just funny how they're making it easier for me to not support it because the slam dunk contest wasn't really all that great. And all the stars, for the most part, seem to stay away from All-Star Weekend. So,
fam, it was a bunch of Celtics and Bucks players down there and Colin Sexton. Who told Colin Sexton to get some grills, man? Who told him to do that?
Yikes.
Who told Colin Sexton to get some damn baguettes in his teeth?
We don't even do grills no more. We get our teeth fixed now.
My dude got traded out of Cleveland, became a whole nother person. He looked like
Oh God.
who does he look like now? I don't know. He looked like some rapper,
Yeah.
some little
Yikes. Yeah, no, we
Little
don't get grilled. Yo.
little young bull.
Little young bull.
He was Colin Sexton before he left Cleveland. Now he's Lil Young Bull.
Lil Young Bull is crazy, but it fits. It fits. Yeah, no, we're not doing the grills anymore. We're fixing our teeth completely.
No, man, he didn't get the veneers. That boy, he was shining.
Yikes.
He looked like Paul Wall in that bitch.
Yo, that's crazy.
I'm
don't even
like,
think Paul
you know what
Wall
it
was a
reminded me
visual.
of though? Remember when Jordan Clarkson got traded from the Lakers and then like 2 weeks later he was on the fucking Cavs with two
Tatted
arm
up.
sleeves? I'm like, fam, where did you find the time to get that many tattoos?
Man, just has to get
That
a
boy
whole
was
bunch of
yeeted on his entire top half of his body.
starting every
I'm
game
like,
with the
damn.
Cavs with all sorts of lotion all around his arms. All right. I'm giving an L to all the people who had garbage takes about Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's Vogue cover, saying that, oh, it's emasculating men by having A$AP Rocky be behind her and she's got this pose and
I
she's clearly
do
the man in the
think that they
relationship.
were. I do think that they set it up that like that purposefully, but I didn't have as much as a problem with it as everybody else did. Dude, you not carry your babies? Y'all don't carry your babies. You niggas don't carry your babies. You don't pick them up.
That was the thing I got from it. Like when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, he do kind of like a mom, but like
I guess I get it. What they're trying to show
him
because
holding the baby and he's got long hair. That's the extent of it.
well, it's there's also their sheer trying to project strength from Rihanna. She's obviously the
leading.
bigger star. Yes, like she's headlining the Super Bowl. It's lining up with the magazine cover come up. She's the topic of discussion right now. So
I
like
see her leading the situation, but I didn't think her positioning. Well, her positioning was literally leading.
Yeah,
but like
I
her stance wasn't like me man.
I get what they were doing, right? It was obviously a shoot that was supposed to highlight the new mother and the Super Bowl headliner as opposed to, the rapper and the father of the baby. If that bothered you that much, okay, I guess, but that didn't pay that much attention to it.
People gotta over exaggerate.
Like Oprah pop out tomorrow and take pictures with Stedman. You better believe she gonna be in the front of the mugs.
That's a fact.
You better believe she gonna be in the front of the mugs. It just is the way it is. Some of y'all pump faking like that's not the way it is in your household.
Talk about it.
I mean,
That's
you
a
can
fact.
sit up here and fake on the internet all you want, but I know some of you niggas is not making as much as your wives or your girlfriends.
Some of you niggas are on the couch playing 2K for 8 hours and using your girl's car.
Then getting on Twitter talking about they trying to emasculate ASAP.
Facts.
No, man, like, look, for people to even begin to hear men's issues, men's rights issues, the way that they should and be taken seriously, the way that they never really have been, some of this silly shit we have to cut out. Like, this is silly. This is that silly shit.
Yeah.
This is that silly shit.
1000%.
I got some more silly shit to talk about in these dubs and L's, so we'll get to it.
Well, I got one last L that I have to give, and it kind of goes hand in hand with one of your L's, I think. There's a couple of niggas who just need to be taken off of the internet permanently.
Oh, man.
Permanently. And I'll let you get into your guy, but apparently both of these guys are from Arizona. So, maybe Arizona just
Something
needs
in
to
the water
get
in
blocked.
Arizona.
Something.
Lake Mead poisoning them.
The guy I'm talking about, his name is on TikTok. It's Official Yuddy Gang TV. You know that's bad when they've got gang and TV in their fucking name.
Official Yeti Gang TV.
You know what I mean? So the video that I saw, and I'm gonna show you here in a second, is of bro going absolutely nuts and like being like this high pitched voice, and he's going nuts over chicken wings with sauce being poured over them.
Relax, relax.
And of course, there's white people in the background looking at him like, what the fuck is going on? 6.1 million views for that.
So that's what y'all want to see? No, don't tell me you didn't see it. It got 6.1 million views. I know you seen it. That's what y'all want me to do? I'll go get a bowl of wings and if that's gonna get me 6.1 million, we would do that shit live. I would do it live on this week's live stream for Power in Bel Air. I swear I will sit there in the camera and go.
Woo!
Gotta do better.
Over fried fucking chicken.
Yeah.
Like,
So some of these niggas ain't got no respect, man.
but you know what it is?
No self-respect.
People constantly retweet it and go, oh my God, I can't believe this black guy's doing this shit. Or, oh my God, I can't believe.
After you watched it 5 times.
You know what I mean? And that's where the views come from, is people watching the spectacle of it all, right? And they don't want to admit that they are ultimately a part of the problem by reacting to it.
For sure. As we are doing currently.
Yeah, but we different. We different.
So, speaking of people who need to get the hell off the internet, I've got 2 that we can go ahead and get started on. Yeah.
All right.
First one that needs to go is Mr. Dancing Gorilla. I don't know why you spend $200 on a pizza to sit there and look like an idiot eating it. Well, because it's lucrative.
He's doing his shark bite.
Fucking stop.
You see this? What kind of pizza is this?
This is our pepperoni 22-inch.
22-inch. You know what time it is. Do you know what time it is? Shark bite.
Cut it the fuck out. This shit is embarrassing. It's not embarrassing because what you do doesn't embarrass me. It is annoying though. It's irritating.
Yes.
It is very irritating.
And he still dances, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Oh, I know. I seen somebody retweet him the other day talking about like when he actually goes in and does that stuff, he's quiet as hell.
Well, because he has the music in
his earphones. Yeah, like he's not actually disrupting anybody. And I guess that's a good thing.
No, you're still.
But you're
still
giving off the facade that you're being a
disruption, a nuisance.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. That's a nice way to put it. And that's the joke behind it.
He still kind of is. Because, I mean, you see this big nigga just get up and start dancing.
Big Kool-Aid ass smile, acting goofy as hell. Yuck.
It's still shucking and jiving.
WB Frog your ass on home.
Oh, man.
All right.
Nigga.
Yes, yeah. He got to go. The next who has to go, and it's a little bit more serious than Dancing Gorilla, Charleston White got to fucking go. Yo, I don't know where all the Charleston White ops at, but y'all ain't doing y'all job.
There's a lot of them.
Y'all lacking. Y'all are absolutely lacking for letting this man talk as much as he do.
That's a fact.
So within the same interview, he talked about how Black Lives Matter is bullshit and how, you know, we line up for all the criminals when they get shot. Ain't that nigga got shot wearing no construction uniform. Ain't that nigga got shot going to work, which is bullshit.
That's
which is lies. Yeah. Ain't that nigga got shot going to pick up his kids, which is a fucking lie, which is more a lie, right? So there's that. There's the obvious oversimplification and conflation of a person's personal morality with their humanity. Right, and whether or not they deserve to see a trial or make it home or anything that we talked about on it's an obvious grift. Or he actually believes that dumb shit and people just keep bringing him on to spew it. But there was that, right? So basically, these black men that are getting killed by police deserve to get killed by police because they ain't doing nothing right.
All right.
But then gives you an instruction manual on how to abuse your woman so that no scars will come out. You know what I mean? If you clonk down on her fucking head like a cartoon character, it'll jam a neck, but it don't leave no bruise.
Okay.
It gets worse Because the problem with today's society is that everybody all in your business. 30 years ago, your wife could have 2 black eyes. The police officer could come to the door and she could have 2 black eyes.
Wait, 30 years ago?
Whatever he said, right?
Cap.
Could have 2 black eyes, and you can go tell the officer, man, I told her to cook me something. She mouthed off, and I got her right, and I straightened her out. And the police officer would drive off. And that's the problem with society, is that we can't black women's eyes and tell the police that she didn't cook you fucking dinner.
It's not true.
And and he would just drive off. Those were the better days. That's when what them white boys say, make America great again. That's what they talking about.
I'm about to say, literally the next thing out of your mouth is, when America was better when they were lynching niggas?
He said that.
Oh, no.
He literally said that. When them white boys be talking about make America great again. First of all, he tries his best to sound like a hillbilly.
Yeah.
Not a country black man, but a hillbilly. Mm-hmm. A John Deere wearing, a spit tobacco using, deer hunting every fall type
militia.
Yeah, absolutely. Hills have eyes, ass nigga.
Snow cricket.
No. It's not a thing.
Vanilla gorilla.
Get Charleston White the hell out of here. And then look who we linking up with, man. He all over Fresh and Fit.
I was just about to say, yep. And a lot of people were like, oh, Charleston White actually made sense here. Get the fuck on. Stop.
Anyways,
but
that's
you know what? Charleston White will go wherever will actually house him.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure all of them will now because he brings big views. And he will just say the most outlandish shit because it's going to get clicks,
so
retweets.
Inconsistent, though. He's a snitch and a gangster. He's the moral high ground, and also he wants to go back to the days where he could beat the shit out of women and make them shut the hell up so that we can have good relationships. It is just an amalgamation of nothing.
Yep.
It is just nothingness.
It is say the most outrageous shit so I can get clicks and retweets and bullshit.
Yeah, because I'm going to send you to jail. Yeah, see,
pepper spray
Boozy is
Soulja Boy.
a felon. Yeah, see, he shoot me, you go to jail. I shoot you, it's self-defense. Because I ain't no felon, I can carry my weapon. Yeah. Nigga, are you a tough guy or a fucking snitch?
He's closer to a snitch. He pepper sprayed Soulja Boy.
The hell are we on? Are you a snitch or a gangster? You can't be both. Stop telling me that Charleston White is legit. Stop it. Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
You can't be legit and talk about calling the police. You a civilian or a gangster, boy? Pick one. You acting like Drake.
Yikes.
Speaking of which, Drake is getting an L for me.
Oh, shit.
Do you remember on the, I believe it was Certified Lover Boy. I might take a 5, turn it to a 10, take that 10, take it to a 20. If X never did that live, it'd be alive again. Whoa, was that Certified Lover Boy?
No. That was something with somebody featured on it, but it wasn't 21.
Oh,
it was. It was on BS with 21 and Drake.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Y'all remember that? Well, the killer was brought into, or one of the killers was brought into court last week to testify about who ordered the hit, why it was ordered, and whether or not. I thought this is really crazy that this prosecutor even asked this question. Like, I can't tell if maybe, because I guess I can put together in my head a scenario where Drake's lawyer maybe is close enough to the prosecutor or able to make a deal. Hey, ask him this publicly. This is going to be a public trial. Ask him this because my dumbass client alluded to him being involved in a fucking murder. So can you ask this man publicly, knowing damn well that we don't have anything to fuck to do with it, whether or not Drake was involved, absolving us of any, potential criminal wrongdoing? Because again, my dumbass client alluded to himself being involved in a very high profile murder for clout. So I could see that, or I could see there being some legitimate interest, seeing as how he freely offered up the fact that he may have been involved in somebody's murder. You know damn well what the fuck you're saying. You're not an idiot, nor am I. Even if you were trying to say something else, the entendre still applies. Even if he didn't do it on purpose, he knew how it looked and he left it. That's my point. The same thing with Meg. Even if you was talking about ass shots, don't believe you, but even if you were, you knew how it sounded and you left it. It's just as bad. There's no moral high ground in that. You knew it sounded like you were saying that you shot X for talking shit about you stealing his song on that live. So miss me with the it doesn't matter if that's how he originally wrote it or not. That's how it sounded, and he left it in.
Sure. I definitely believe this to be some sort of just clout.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely a clout
Akin
chase.
to the Meek beef.
That is what makes it more likely to me that he actually did it on purpose.
Possibly.
Because it's just adding on to the tough guy facade of Drake.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about a Disney star first or Disney the company?
Let's start with Disney the company.
Cool. So, one of the things that, well, just like most negative Disney news that went under the radar last week is that Disney officially lost the, I guess the exclusiveness of their park district of Reedy Creek. So that whole thing, that whole fight with DeSantis actually ended up not going in Disney's favor. So now Reedy Creek as an individually owned district or county, which is kind of crazy when you think about it just in general, like beyond any like Disney versus DeSantis war stuff. It's kind of honestly really crazy to think about that a company has afforded themselves an entire district, an area of the state unto themselves to govern. And it's a lot like when they talked about Reedy Creek before, in my mind, it was just a way to kind of to skirt some tax liabilities. It's deeper than that, fam. They have their own fire department. They have their own elected officials, being Disney in this district. They have their own police department. They pay their own taxes. Or you pay if you are fortunate enough to live in Reedy Creek, you are not paying taxes to the state of Florida. You're paying them to the Reedy Creek district, which is ran by Disney. Does anybody see any potential problems?
That's fucking scary.
With a company running their own county?
Or running their own area.
Whatever. I mean, it's essentially, they call it a district, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
If it was in Ohio, they call it a county.
Yeah.
Imagine Franklin County being ran by BP or Exxon or
fuck no.
or Kroger or some shit. Like, you understand, like when you have a municipality, you have a duty to educate, provide education, a public school system, keep up with the roadways and you know, service things, trash and sewers and public transportation and all kind of things. Like there's a duty to the people that actually live there and not just the amusement park. Mm-hmm. But Disney being a company and not a government is going to put what over the well-being of the citizens in that area? Profit, always. So could no one imagine a situation where a company runs the police, the fire department, the essential government of that local area to befit the bottom line over that of the safety and health and well-being of the citizenship there?
Yeah, that sounds like a horror movie.
Fam, what are we even... How is that even a thing? Like, I am no Ron DeSantis fan at all, whatsoever. But the fact that it took a personal beef between Disney and Ron DeSantis for us to start questioning whether or not a company should be able to run their own municipality, it would have been a cold day in hell. That's what I would have predicted the time that you tell me that a social, economic, and aesthetic uber conservative would be the one to unmask the malfeasance of a conglomerate in America.
Fact. Yeah, no.
Yo, I don't know what political times we're living in today.
Especially one where this company is effectively keeping the government out, which is something the conservatives love.
Oh my God. Everything Disney is doing is perfectly aligned with modern day conservatism. Free market, bro. Let the enterprise decide, bro. Everyone has an opportunity, bro. Like, what DeSantis is doing is decidedly anti-conservative.
A Christian-facing company at that.
Hey, y'all make it make sense. Y'all make it make sense. But it's definitely an L. You can tell that the trades are trying to spin it, but it's an L. It's an L for sure.
Yeah.
This is going to be costly on top of what they already have to cut. So, hey, I told y'all before, maybe y'all will listen to me now, but the it's more than chinks in the armor. Like, they've got holes. They've got gashes. They're injured.
7 holes to be exact.
Does milk or ooze or other things come out of your holes? All right, where are we going next? Oh, Disney star Keely Williams. Man, some people will do anything to stay in the limelight, dog. They will do anything. Not again. So while Raven and Adrian are discussing a reboot, their co-star is ruining it. She's dragging it through the mud. They're making it so that she probably won't be cast in it.
Oh,
I don't know that for sure. I'm talking shit right now about that.
But they made
part.
her promises.
But Raven and Adrian are talking about a Disney reboot of Cheetah Girls, but I just don't think that Keely Williams and all of her controversy is going to be brought back into it now that America knows that she let B2K of all boy band groups.
No, she let 2K hit. She didn't let B hit. She let 2K hit.
That's like letting New Edition run a train on you, but everybody except for Bobby Brown. Like, everyone except for, or I'm gonna take all the members of New Edition that aren't in Belle Biv DeVoe and Bobby Brown. I guess that's actually not that bad because all of them guys ended up being stars.
Well, Ralph Tresvant is. We know Ralph, but we know from
I
New
fuck
Edition.
with Ralph.
I like Ralph too, but
that's Powerline. When we listen to it.
No, that was Tevin Campbell.
That was Ralph Tresvant.
No, it's Tevin Campbell.
Powerline.
Didn't we already talk about this?
Tevin Campbell wasn't even. We did talk about this on the pod. I always thought that was Ralph.
You did the whole thing.
Did it happen just like that? Did I do
Played by Tevin Campbell? Yeah, you did the entire. Well, okay, sorry, you didn't do the entire thing, but you did a dance. I don't think anybody was.
Is that Tevin Campbell or is that Ralph Tresvant?
Did you just sing "Can We Talk"?
Yeah,
that was Tevin Campbell.
That was Tevin Campbell. Okay.
Yeah. In fact, the biggest things that he's done is "Can We Talk," and he was the what's his name on a Goofy movie.
Yeah, he was Skyline.
Yeah.
We listen to each other's lives, the final letter to fall apart. If me and the love to realize, for the moment I was seeing it eye to eye. Seeing it Powerline. That was his name, not Skyline.
Yeah,
that's Chili.
Powerline. Yeah, you're right.
Powerline.
That's Chili. That's crazy.
Seeing it eye to eye.
Literally just saw a guy on Twitter dancing.
We listen to each other's lives, the final letter to fall apart. If me and the love to realize, for the moment I was seeing it eye to eye. Seeing it to that song?
In the fucking suit to that song.
I'm about to be Powerline for Halloween.
You can do it.
We listen to each other's lives.
He literally
did the dance, the fishing pole shit.
I don't know if I can't remember if he did the fishing pole part of it, but he fucked it up. It was kind of.
If you haven't realized, Goofy movie is one of my favorite Disney movies for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah, I would probably agree, but I don't remember the words specifically of the song. Like I knew you were singing the song, but I can't remember the words.
Shit,
it's been so long since I've seen that movie. Now maybe I should go watch it. It's probably on Disney Plus, I would assume.
Absolutely. So stand out,
really, nigga,
above the crowd. Even if I gotta shout out loud, the body we only want to see. I'm gonna stand out, stand out. Oh,
I'm glad you're having a very touching Disney moment because we're about to start shitting on Disney.
So stand out above the crowd, even if I gotta shout out loud.
This is the worst thing.
Keely Williams needs to shut the hell up. Long story short, So on top of everybody else not minding their business, Kaylee Williams wants to butt in and tell Chloe Bailey that she's not doing something that's very moral by working with Chris Brown. Woman, you had sex with all the members of B2K that weren't named Amarion at the same time. Do you think you have the moral authority to tell Chloe Bailey not to work with Chris Brown?
You had sex with all of Drew Hill except for Cisco.
You had sex with Gnarls Barkley and didn't mess with CeeLo.
Yo. Yikes.
You slept with Maroon 5 and didn't hit Adam Levine.
And Adam Levine is the wildest one.
You know? You had sex with U2 and didn't hit Bono.
That would be nuts. That would just be crazy. That would be ridiculous.
You had sex with all of the Beatles except for Paul McCartney. You was just basically just sitting there with Ringo Starr.
Yeah, it would be Ringo. You had sex with 3 Ringos at the same time.
What is wrong with her, yo? What is her problem?
What are people going to forgive Chris Brown for? Not forgive him, but
that's another conversation. That's another conversation. Because if we hate Chris Brown for being an abuser, which I've seen that sentiment, right? Mm-hmm. People do not like the fact that people have come to his aid. They feel like his overzealousness with Karrueche is just added, evidence towards his abusive behavior. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to deconstruct that too much. If you feel that way, you feel that way. Like that's your opinion. Mm-hmm. I am going to ask you though: is Rihanna an abuser? Because from all accounts of that situation that happened that night, it was her realization that Chris was being unfaithful that sparked all of that. Now, hear me clearly. The reaction is not being lambasted over or being justified, but I'm asking you if domestic violence brands you as an abuser forever, is Rihanna an abuser?
Well, even if leaving out the fact that she started it with whatever.
Yeah, she smacked the shit out of my man driving a car 80 miles per hour on the LA Turnpike on their way to the Grammys.
Which is crazy because, so Chris Brown compared his situation to a bunch of white people.
Oh, we don't even have to, you don't want to talk about Rihanna? Okay, cool. We can talk about Emma Roberts and Charlie Sheen and Amber Heard and all of them. We can talk about them. Sean Penn, you want to go there? Al Pacino, would you like to speak about it? Would you like to speak about the multitudes of white celebrities you continue to support time in and time out without even knowing their abusive past? It took William Hurt to die for us to know anything about his past.
Mm-hmm. I saw people in Twitter threads being like, "Oh, Emma's situation is different because they were both abusing each other."
And that is exactly what we have been experiencing for the last 2.5 years defending this guy right here. It's always a sliding scale when we talk about somebody black. It will never be different. You will always do it. You will never see yourself doing it, but you will never stop doing it though. The situation will always be different. The caveats will always mean more than the main point. I can count on it like I can count on the sun rising in the morning. If there are two situations of similar makeup and build, and one character is white and one character is black, one person is white, one person is black, the caveat will arise. Mm-hmm. As sure as the sun will.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I got an idea. Let's focus your attention over to Karl Malone.
Over there.
Karl Malone. Piece of shit. Huge piece of shit. Focus all that rage you got over on that side.
Josiah is getting an L from me for being a complete and utter failure. I don't think there's any way to put it. When you have the lineup of, new head coach Steve Nash, you had James Harden, you had Ben Simmons, you had Kyrie Irving, you had Kevin Durant. Every single one of those individuals are gone, and you have nothing to show for it. That is an abject failure.
Yep.
Miss me with, Kyrie destroyed the friend. Stop it. Stop it. Cut it out.
Get some help.
You are embarrassing yourself and the person that you are attempting to make an excuse for by doing that. Stop. Cut it out. Cut it out. If I gave you this list of players and told you were going to be left with one of them at the end of the saga, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, and you're only going to be left with one of those players, you can't even create a scenario where Ben Simmons ends up being the player you want to keep. There's no set of circumstances. Okay, well, maybe if you draft these kind of players, or maybe if you go out and get all shooters. I mean, not a single center on the roster, just all shooters.
Absolutely
There's
not.
nothing you can construct that makes it be a success if all you're left with at the end of all of the draft picks and players you traded away being Benson. Oh no, they got Dinwiddie back.
Yeah, still.
You got a player that you traded away to get one of those players. You traded Spencer Dinwiddie to try and get these players. You traded D'Angelo Russell to try to get some of these players. Mm-hmm. Who else did you let go? I mean, the list goes on.
The entire team, damn near?
Is Joe Harris still on this team?
Yes.
You kept Joe Harris.
Unless he got traded recently.
Kept Joe Harris. Good for you. Karis LeVert, gone.
About to win a championship.
Jared Allen, gone.
Yep. About to win a championship.
My God, that is an abysmal run of running an NBA franchise.
No, thank you, Josiah. You're about to make the Cavs a very happy team.
Would not want to be Josiah, boy. Because is he the owner?
Or I'm sorry, he might be a GM.
No, Sean Marks was the GM.
Nah, that's right.
So he's the owner. Fam, sell that thing. Let's get to these dubs. First dub I got is going out to Busta Rhymes, who knows his worth.
Wait, what are you giving him?
A dub.
Oh, yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he knows his worth and he treats himself as a delicate flower that he is. Protect yourself, King.
Yeah.
Right? You are worth it. You are the prize. And you don't let no floozy in the airport grab your butt. No. You are worth more than that. You are human. And you deserve to be treated with respect.
Mm-hmm. I would say he definitely handled his situation much better than Terry Crews.
Fam, that's how that goes. When someone you don't want comes up, no matter how powerful, or what the situation is really, comes up and grabs your genitals unwantedly, you respond like Busta Rhymes did. Toss a drink right in that mug. Thought he was Aquaman.
Yeah, where'd that drink come from?
What Terry Crews talking about, I have never.
Yikes.
Never, ever. I was just so shocked. Anyways, yeah, no. It was just funny to see it play out like that because, you know, people would lead you to believe that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That men being treated as sexual objects or being, you know, party to unwanted or undue physical advances from women. I guess it just doesn't happen, huh? No, it happens. We just happen to catch this one on camera.
Absolutely.
So,
and when it comes to Busta
nice little
Rhymes,
snapshot.
When it comes to Busta Rhymes, you put your hands where his eyes can see.
Oh man, got another dub going out to John Wick 4.
Yo, the trailer was dope.
I'm excited.
Got yourself a gun? Fire.
Got yourself a gun.
Fire.
That shit was hard.
That's how you make a trailer.
That shit was dope. I'm excited. I'm hyped.
Yeah.
March, here we come. That is a big month. Mm-hmm. March is a big month.
Yes, it is. Creed, Shazam, John
Wick. That's a big month, man.
No, that's not coming out till May. The Fast and
It's
Furious.
almost second to, well, not anymore. If the Marvels actually would have released in June, it would have been a big month. Mm-hmm. You got the Flash, you got the Marvels, and Transformers. Yeah. That shit would have went. But I don't even think they're scared to compete. I don't think that they're really worried about the Flash. It was an amazing trailer. You still got to deliver it.
Yeah.
And they've had some really good trailers. Being DC.
And like I think you mentioned it at some point. Them bringing forth Keaton in the trailer itself was
Strong.
Yeah, I mean,
Strong.
That just basically gave them.
But if that's it, if that's all you got, and you cut everything else to somebody else that anybody else would be, interested in, are you really think that Zod and Kara, two characters from the Man of Steel verse, are going to be enough and not have Henry Cavill? Because apparently, according to rumors, they've cut Henry Cavill's scenes from the Flashpoint movie. Zod and Kara with Superman? Zod and Kara without Superman? Your results may vary.
I don't think they got rid of Henry Cavill. If you got Brad Pitt's Batman, or Brad Pitt, Jesus Christ, Batfleck. If you got Batfleck,
why wouldn't you have Henry Cavill?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. My point is, I don't think the MCU was scared of the Flash that much that they moved the Marvels. I think they moved the Marvels for money because it saves them money.
Yeah.
Because now you've got 2 thematic releases this year instead of 3 or 4. That's 2 less films that you have to actually market now.
Ant-Man, Marvels, yeah.
Yep. Ant-Man, Quantumania, and then the next movie we will see from Marvel will be in the fall now.
No summer blockbuster, huh?
The TV shows will have to do their job. We'll see.
Well, Loki,
we'll see.
Loki season. Well, yeah.
Loki, Secret Invasion.
They could.
You'll have to do their job.
That'll show a lot of improvement for their quality over quantity take.
And by the time we get to the fall, we will be all right. Shit, where's my Marvel?
That's a fact. Yeah.
Injected into my veins, brother.
And you can do it with Secret Invasion and Loki season 2.
If it's done well.
You have to execute, though.
If it's done well.
Yeah.
They should have no problem holding the anticipation with those 2 television shows and then blow your wad all over the Marvels.
But then don't give me the Marvels in November and it's weak as fuck.
They have to do the thing. Now, the advantage to this is that you have time now.
Yeah.
You have time. So, if we went into the script of the Marvels similarly to how we went into the script of Quantumania, you got to change it. Don't go head first into something that you know is going to happen and do it anyway. Avert now. You have the delay, which means you have the time. You know you're going to do reshoots anyways. All of these films have reshoots going into them. It's gotten to the point where reshoots don't tell me anything about how the movie is going to change. You can almost expect for there to be extensive reshoots for every Disney film, or excuse me, every MCU film at this point. So that doesn't really tell you nothing.
Yeah, into damn near the premiere.
Yeah. All right, last dub I got is going out to Eric Bieniemy, who seems like he's going to be moving on from the Chiefs. And now, if he does what I think he's going to do and prove that he is an elite offensive coordinator, give my man a job. And not just the guys who are plugged into the coaching trees that you want. No, Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator for this Patrick Mahomes guy that y'all keep telling me is the greatest quarterback ever. All of a sudden, how quickly they fucking move on, yo. Like Brady retired yesterday, and now Mahomes is the greatest ever. He's the greatest ever.
I'll accept that. I mean, obviously he's got to do a lot more.
I honestly don't care because I don't watch the league, but it's just
That's true.
You hear it and it's like, yo, fam,
You know what though? I don't.
relax.
I want to. Well, maybe I'm just nitpicking too much.
Isn't this
I want
his
a full-
second Super Bowl win, right?
Yeah.
Fam,
Out of
are
3.
you
2 or 3?
either the Super Bowls don't mean anything, in which case we can stop doing all this hoopla for him every year, or it just doesn't take as much to be great anymore.
It's 2 or 3. He lost 1 to Tom Brady.
How is he the best ever? He's very good. He may be the best in the league for sure.
But I
But
mean, if
ever?
he can end up having a better Super Bowl record than
on,
Tom
man.
Brady. It's possible. I'm not saying it's just possible.
I mean, it's mathematically possible. But
Yes.
he also has to make it to 8 of them.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, no. Brady's been
He
to
would have
10.
to make it to
10. He has to make it to 10 Super Bowls. So yeah, it's
Well,
mathematically
actually, does he?
possible. Yeah. Brady
because
lost
what if
3
right, but what if he only loses 1?
and won 7.
But what if he only loses 1 and wins 6? Let's say he wins 6, but he only lost 1. This is the whole Michael Jordan versus.
So he goes to 7 and wins 6.
Yeah.
There's an argument there.
Because if you let him get to 10,
Being
he only
6 of
lost
7
1
as
or 2.
opposed to being 7 of 10, I guess there's an argument there. But then, to me, there's a conversation. To me, you still lose on the terms of longevity because I went to 10. Like, I dominated 2 decades of football, essentially.
Okay, so then don't let Patrick Mahomes win just as much.
Because that 10 was spread out over, 2 different eras. I know the math kind of hit somebody, and he was like, what?
Yeah.
10 being 2 decades. No. 5 out of the decade that was kind of like the swan songing out of the league at that point when he started to win his championships. Kurt Warner, greatest show on turf down there with the Rams in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. But then there's the back half 10 where he dominated, but then it was also, the back half of the Patriots era and he was bouncing around. So,
yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes was still winning. Russell Wilson was still winning.
Yeah.
Other guys were winning. So, yeah, that's it for my. Oh, I did have a toss up that I wanted to discuss. All these damn trains derailing.
Yeah, I did want to.
And nobody talking about it. Like, yeah, there are people who are unaware that there are other trains that have derailed, not just in Ohio,
one in Michigan.
Yeah,
one in DC.
DC, yeah.
Shout out to the people who asked if we were good.
Appreciate that. Yeah. We are due south of where the southeast of where the
it's like right on the
wreck happened. Yeah, so
border. So we're an hour some change away from it.
Well, we're hours. We're at least 2 hours away from East Palestine.
Is it 2?
At least, yeah. At least.
But then also, I don't
like Akron is much closer to East Palestine than where we're at. Yeah.
They supposedly contaminated the water supply in the Ohio River, but
killing animals.
Some people are saying it didn't. And I think that just has to do with the fact that
it's bullshit.
I think
they're that close to the Ohio River. It definitely got there. If Chillmonger's telling me that they're getting warnings in Canada, it had to have crossed a body of water to get there.
Well, I was going to say I think that has
from
a lot
East
more
Palestine,
to do
Ohio.
with DeWine having people arrested for trying to find out the truth.
This is that conservative bullshit. This is that trade-off. Everybody loved how he was on COVID. Right, more practical response to COVID in terms of shutdowns and when we got out of them. But this is that fascist bullshit. Like, fam, you can't hide the fact that a damn gas cloud is covering all over Northeast Ohio.
Yeah,
you cannot.
Mm-hmm.
Simultaneously, there are other state governments that are trying to cover up the fact that it's happening in their states too. Pennsylvania, Michigan. Washington.
Mm-hmm. Why are you trying to cover it up?
Like,
people need to know.
More people are going to be affected and die from it if they don't know about it. I understand the idea of trying to keep hysteria down, but then there's also the fact that why? I haven't. It's been years since I've ever heard of a derailed train, and now all of a sudden there's 3 of them
in close proximity to each other.
So
it's not like these are happening all over the country. It's fairly close to each other.
Certainly seems coordinated in some way.
Yeah.
So that is it. That wraps it all up. So give us your thoughts on everything we discussed here in the Dubs and L's. Give us your Dubs and L's in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and come back every Wednesday for a new Dubs and L's segment.
Absolutely. Make sure you check out our previous Dubs and L's located here, where I think we talked about the Lakers and how they need a reality show, because that shit is crazy over there. And make sure that you subscribe. Like you said, we like to do this every Wednesday at 10 o'clock.